fellow riders, Haggard Rider here. Nice sunny day again. So, a couple of days ago, took the bike in for its first annual service. That's gone quick. 1,000 miles, so that's about 4,000 in the year since I had my 600 service, which I think is not bad going. Not considering considering I don't go touring anywhere, it's all local. Purely enjoyment, so I am using it. So what do I think of this bike after 12 months of usage? I think it's great. The only, not complaint, the only downside for me, if I think of it, well, maybe more than one, the main one is it's a bit heavy. It's because of that, it's a bit of a, you have to be deliberate into corners. You can still go around quite nicely, but you have to be deliberate. But on the plus side, the engine is so flexible, as I've shown in a previous video, that it'll do in second gear from 0 to 90 quite quickly. It'll do 30 to 90 in 4.5 seconds. Now I think that's pretty good going by any standards. But it'll pootle along like I'm in 4th, I'm in 6th, I'm doing 1,000 RPM, and it pulls away without hesitation. So I rather like that. And allied to that is the fuel consumption. I am still getting 57 miles to the gallon on average, which I have to think is damn good for 1,000cc, 1140cc motorbike, 4-cylinder jobby. I don't actually know where I am, so bear with me whilst I make basic errors cycling. Let's go up here. So yeah, it'll do 60 miles to the gallon. It'll do 200 miles to the tank full. So I think, yeah, I'm happy with that. There's a nice, almost like a triple whistle to it. Although it can't because it's a 4-pot. But it sounds good. In fact, the guy who did the service drove off after the service to give it a bit of a test drive. And it's the first time I've heard the bike ridden without me on it, and I have to say it does sound rather good. Which is good because I don't intend replacing the exhausts on it, because they're nice chrome jobbies, so I don't think I'll be able to get anything that's anywhere near as nice. So yeah, now as I say, I've not done touring. To be quite honest, I don't think the seat is built for touring. It's a 90-minute jobby. Anything longer than that and you risk permanent damage to your leathers, I think. Although it has got better since I lost a bit of weight. On the previous CB1100 I had, I sent away for a replacement seat from Japan, from Samu Rider. It was a K1 lookalike seat. Very comfortable, but my goodness, the price. I think the actual seat itself was only £240, but then there's VAT and there's shipping and there's duty, and it came out to be just over 400 by the time it landed on my doorstep. So I'm not inclined to do that again. But yeah, that made a difference on that bike, because that seat was even worse than this one. But I found that if you lean forward a bit, and I have to lean forward because I had some damage to my back about 7 years ago, so cruiser riding is not an option for me. 184 for diesel, Gordon Bennett. They're charging around here a bit. Right, I want to be in the left lane here. And 184, 170. Okay, round the outside. I'm a Buffalo girl, I'm going round the outside. So just going through there then. leaving the seat to one side for the moment. The other thing, this I might be just for this particular bike because I didn't notice on any other one I've ridden. It's a bit reluctant to come out of fourth to go down the gear, to go down to third. It's can be a bit challenging. And you think you're down in third and you're still in fourth, but that might be me. I accept that. But that's another little downer. And if you're not careful, throttle can be a little bit choppy, certainly in first and second, so you have to be careful. But that's just you just acquire the skill to be a bit more gentle with it. So no, it's just the way the bike is. It's a feature of the bike. So seat wise, yeah, I'm not inclined to change this seat. It's okay. I think for the sake of 400 quid, when it gets that painful, I'll just stop and get some fuel or a drink or whatever, which is probably the way to do it. As for touring, well, you could do it. Yeah. I don't like the look of top boxes or side panels, so I haven't got any fitted. Mind you, me and the missus, when we go on holiday, we tend to go for a week. We can get everything each into one small soft bag, so I could likely do the same here if I wanted to, or even a backpack and stick it on my back. That would be possible. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. Lack of a screen doesn't concern me. I find it all right. I had one screen, suppose I can mention the name, why not? MRA screen. Comfort Fit or Comfort something or other. And it's only held on by 2 metal bars, and those bars do not bounce up and down on a road. And I got a feeling it was giving me what I would call micro buffeting. So it showed itself mainly when I was on the motorway. I was coming up to a dot matrix sign that had a message on it, and the dots were like not blurred but stretched sideways, if you know what I mean, like your head's vibrating or the sign's vibrating. Weird. And towards the end of the ride, when I got back, I was getting back, I stopped off for a quick break, and there happened to be a couple in the lay-by where I stopped who were happy to engage in conversation. And I was having great difficulty thinking of, well, finding words to put together in a bloody sentence, let alone make a sentence. Now, whether that was effect of the buffeting or there was something up with me, I don't know, but I've never felt like that before. In fact, when I got home, I took the screen off. I've not had those symptoms since. Now, a thought has occurred to me, perhaps I could stabilise it by putting strengtheners in the go in the bus lane, let the ambulance go past. To stabilise those rods. Where am I going? Let's go to Horndean. I don't think I want to go to London. Yeah, so putting stabilisers on, probably from the headlamp bracket up to the bars, or maybe to the bottom of to the bars, and then something also on the bottom of the screen to stop that twisting, because there's only the one set of connections either side of the screen itself. Might stop it vibrating, bouncing, which might make it better to use, because it certainly worked. When it was working, kept the wind off very nicely. But there again, I bought a naked bike because I didn't want the wind off me. So, and this is perfectly rivalable up to certainly legal limits and overtaking and what have you. But what it would be for a long journey, I don't know. I'm almost halfway through my PCP deal now, which means I have to start considering what I'm going to do next. Do I buy this? Because that would be the cheapest option. Or do I buy another bike? Different one? I must say the two that have sprung to mind are either a big Ducati Monster or maybe a VFR 800F. Do like the look of those. That's not far off the weight of this though, whereas the Monster's a good bit less. I don't know, I do like this bike, I do like the look of it as well, and I stand back and have a look and I think that's a nice looking bike. It's my idea of what a bike should look like. Right, here we are guys, there's the bike. Lovely looking bike, I think. There's a presence to it, a gravitas if you like. It's not a fly-by-night motorbike. Oh, you may recognise where I'm parked. If you watch Mark Pulling's reviews, which I do regularly, this is where he stops occasionally to do his walk around. So, yes, a lovely bike, lovely shape. I like the tank, it's a matte beta silver. And it just hangs together beautifully. Suspension is better than it is on the exec model that's available now, or was available. They don't sell them anymore. They're only Euro 4. Air-cooled engine, pings when it cools down. And for an inline 4 air-cooled, I think it's got decent power, decent enough power. Comes with all bits, like the twin horns, they're good horns. Oh, damn good horns. They're loud and fairly deep in toe, they're not a screecher. Very nice. That's not to say that modern bikes aren't. I do actually like the look of the Z900. I think that's good. And the GSXS 750. But I don't like adventure bikes. No. Mind you, the other bike that's taken my eye is a new BSA Gold Star, which is half the power I've got in this. Easily just half the power and half the Newton meters, but it'll do the ton, which is all you need in this country. So maybe if they ever produce them, make them, it'd be worth a look. Have a sample. Mind you, having said that, that's how I ended up with this. I took one for a test ride. I ended up buying one. So probably not the safest of things to do, going for a test ride. Kid was waiting for the green light. Jolly good. Yes, this is just nice to come out on. I'm fortunate I don't have to commute. When I'm out on the bike, it's because I want to be, it's because I could enjoy it. I don't often filter. Don't see the need. So yeah, this is a nice bike, but you could equally say, well, it's more powerful than I need. There are those jacks. Lovely. If I win the lottery, fat chance, don't even do it. Oop, there's something I left here. Yes, having said that, it doesn't like coming down out of fourth. It does actually quite enjoy shifting up. So even though it doesn't like changing down so much, changing up is an absolute breeze. In fact, clutchless upshifts are really rather good and smooth. So, but also the clutch, I've got it so there's just a slight, and that's it, down, so a millimetre and a bit, so a centimetre and a bit of movement. That's nice, that. And it's light. Mind you, I don't do any commuting where I'm having to feather the clutch a lot, so for some people that might not be good, but for me that is just right. There's a nice view. So I guess what I'm saying is that I really rather like this motorbike. I'm inclined to keep it. Unless something comes along to tempt me. But we'll see. I've still got 18 months to make up my mind. I'm inclined to think this is a keeper. It's not costing much to run. The first service cost, and this is at Crescent Honda in Bursledon, Southampton, was 189 quid. They did a very good job. It took about an hour and a quarter, hour and 20 I think. And they did say take an hour and a half, so that was spot on. You can watch them doing the work. You can wander around, you can sit in the showroom. It was a perfectly pleasant way to spend the time. If you want to book a test drive, you can book a test drive, but there was nothing there I wanted to ride. There was certainly no fire blades out on demonstration. Well, there had been, but it'd been bagged by one of the salesmen and he was taking it home, so he wasn't allowing anybody on it that day. Lucky bugger. I'd like to know what you guys think. Keep it, change it. If we're going to change it, what to? Doesn't have to be a new bike. I prefer it to be 4-cylinder, but it doesn't have to be, as I say, the VSX Gold Star single cylinder 650 would probably do me, although I'm not overly keen on the Interceptor. Yeah, there's certain design things on there I'm not overly keen on, but to me ruin the look. Excuse me, peeps. That's good. He set up a coffee shop at the top for the bikers. How good. There's another fine view. Yeah, so leave a comment if you will. Tell me what you think I should get next. I'll be interested to hear. Read. Nice tree-lined road. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of the ride with my visor open, which means it's going to get noisy. So guys, thank you all very much for joining me. I've hoped you've enjoyed my maybe pointless ramblings. A quick update on the bike. If you're going to get one, you're making a good decision. They're good bikes. These bikes are so underrated. They have the power, they have the looks, they have the flexibility. Okay, they're a bit porky, but if you don't have to push it around the garage much, then it's okay. You don't notice it when you're riding. Good brakes. Back brake's pretty good actually, I have to say. Pleased with that. So yeah, good bike to get. But until we meet again on the next one, thanks guys, stay safe, and we'll see you. This has been the Haggard Ride, and remember chaps, it's all about the ride. Bye bye.